Welcome to Corners and Wagers for Game Week 5 in the Premier League. I'm Adam Zdroik, going over my corners bets for the week. I got a couple of them. First, I wanted to look at last week. Full transparency, got to show the bets for last week. Had one winner, had a couple losers. Maybe a little mistake here and there. But Man City minus 5.5. That one was a solid bet. Man City, I think that finished 12-3 against Brentford. And then Fulham, West Ham, it just didn't work out the way I wanted it to. West Ham, similar to last season, similar to the David Moyes teams, just their corner numbers are always weird for and against. Maybe the last time I'm going to include a West Ham game in my corner bets here. And then Spurs raised to 5 corners. I put this up plus 150 right before the game. It was at minus 120. That's how much the odds moved after I posted this bet. Went from plus 150 to minus 120. Guess what happened? Arsenal, I think it was 3-2. Tottenham were up in corners. Arsenal got a couple lame ones. They were up 5-3 in terms of corners. And I think last I looked at it, it was Tottenham had 7-5 in the corners race. I don't want to say a bad beat, just unfortunate loss there. Maybe I should have just taken, Tottenham over 4.5 corners, over 5.5 corners, race to 7 corners is always an option. That one, in hindsight, maybe, Tottenham race to 7 corners seems like a little bit of a stretch. That was probably like plus 250 though. So unfortunate to lose a couple there, but we're coming back here. Game week 5 and RotoWire.com/soccer trial. I'm using the cheat sheet. I got a couple bets here. Again, I'll have an article up at RotoWire.com/soccer. And we also have a betting show with Chris Owen where I got 7 more bets provided. So these ones are just full on corners bets that I have. So the first one, I am talking, let me double check. What is the first one? Fulham, our home against Newcastle. Going back to Fulham, they didn't come through for me in the last one. Maybe that was a result of West Ham, throwing out Guido Rodriguez and Edson Alvarez, just kind of eating up the midfield with 2, defensive midfielders. I think Socek started that one as well. But Newcastle, it's been a weird start to the season. I don't think they've actually been overly impressive. They aren't dominating the midfield as they have done in the past. Maybe Tonali starts in this one. There is a rumor that Isak may not be ready to start because of a toe injury. So we could see Isak out of there. Without Callum Wilson, they won't have a true number 9. That could mean Anthony Gordon moves centrally. Either way, I am looking at Fulham to rebound in terms of a corner battle. I think that is a good spot for them to actually put it on kind of early, get some early corners. You could look at Fulham minus corners in the first half. I believe you could probably get minus half a corner in the first half. But my bet is just another race to 5 corners bets here for Fulham. I think it was 2 seasons ago where Newcastle led the league in corners. They fell off last year in terms of corners, and now I think they're kind of in the same spot last season of just not racking up all the corners where Trippier is just, plugging in whatever 10 corners every game. It's just not how they've been playing. So I think this Fulham at home, if you look at it, race to 5 corners plus 105. Hopefully we just don't get screwed by what happened in the North London derby. Hopefully that doesn't happen again here, but I just like Fulham to get corners before Newcastle in this one. And, if you don't want to take the race, maybe just go over. If you do over 4.5 corners, it's going to be minus odds. But if you do over 5.5, maybe over 6.5, that's when you're getting better odds, obviously, the higher you go. But if you're not into the race, that is another option, or I like the first half as well for Fulham. Another bet on a couple teams to hit the over in terms of corners. I'm looking at this Leicester-Everton match, which who knows? You see all these questionable tags here on this Everton team. Tarkowski's dealing with some kind of issue. Keane dealing with some kind of issue, picked up midweek. A lot of illnesses. Michael Lenko went off after 20 minutes last game. DCL missed the midweek game. James Garner missed the midweek game. So a bunch of stuff in here. I don't know what exactly it means in terms of Everton, but I guess I got to mention Idrissa Gueye is also out because he has a personal family death in the family. So Mangala is expected to start here next to Irgbunam. So just I don't even know if those guys have played together. Maybe for 20 minutes in the midweek cup match. So just a weird situation with Everton where they're already struggling. They have all these questions on the back line. They've been They've been on like their third right back to start the season. Michaelenko, been on. Keane's been starting all season. Now the midfield's getting a new name in here, and Dia's gotten a couple starts. It's been an absolute mess. Leicester have gotten some points recently, but I think you just mix up this Everton midfield, and what's it going to look like? It's probably going to look like a little up and down here. You throw in Skip and Didi and Winks, a decent, solid midfield for Leicester City, maybe not in terms of attacking talent, but I think both teams can get corners here instead of going to the over 10.5, over 11.5 kind of thing, where you're getting even odds. I think both teams can get corners. You could do both teams over 4.5 corners, and obviously I think that's maybe plus 180, something like that. But Leicester just really haven't been getting corners this season, so that is one kind of worrying thing. But it is home against Everton. You got to think Leicester get corners. So I do like both teams over 4.5, but I'll do maybe in terms of safety here, Leicester over 3.5 corners, Everton over 4.5 corners, plus 130 odds in there. I just think there's going to be corners in this game. Maybe there's going to be goals. Maybe there won't be. These teams haven't been, terribly high scoring. It's not like either one of these teams is great, overly efficient in front of net. Outside of Jamie Vardy when he gets a Red Bull in him. But that's what I got there. So those are my 2 corner bets for game week 5. If you want more bets, again, check out rotowire.com/soccer. There's a bunch more Premier League bets in there as well. Thank you.